Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to talk about my variation of the magical days of the week. This is what works with our schedule and what we actually end up doing. Some of these do fit in with the traditional Monday is for this, Saturday is for this, whatever. But I also have made it to work for me because that's the point of your witchcraft, is make it work for you. And so this is what I do magically for the days of the week. Now this doesn't mean that I'm doing spells every single day of the week, but if I have a spell that I need to do, typically more than not it's going to fall into one of these categories, and so I will wait until that day of the week to do it. Some people do that with the moon phases, which is fine. I just don't do much with the moon. When it actually comes around, I am part of the Spoonie Club of I feel like crap every time. Every time it's a full or new moon, I usually have a flare-up or something always happens, and I just have learned that I don't wait for the moons, because if it doesn't work out, you have to wait another month to do the thing. And I'm just not super thrilled with that. Occasionally I'll do things for the moons, I'll have a specific spell or something I want to do, but for the most part, on a whole, I'm leaning more towards the days of the week, so here they are. So starting off with the traditional time to begin the week, which is Sunday. That is our day of rest and for family. Now in our household, this is the day of the week that everyone has off. It just kind of happened to be that way. It's pretty rare to get weekends off, and somehow or another, despite us not being Christians, we ended up with Sunday off. So that's the day that I spend the most time with my family, because everybody has that day off. If we're doing something as a family, typically it's going to happen on that day. And it's also just a good day to rest, as it's the first day off for my husband, and my mom, that's the last day of her weekend, so it just kind of works out pretty well energetically to be this is a chill day, this is a rest day. And it's also my declutter when I do my house day, so it's just kind of putzing around the house, not a whole lot to do, just kind of hanging with the family mostly. Then we move on to Monday. Now for a lot of people this would be the kickstart to the week. Some people would actually put that with Sunday too, with it being the sun energies versus the moon, but whatever. Again, I don't do things the way that everyone else does. So for me, Monday is my restart day. If I feel like I've just gotten in a funk, I will restart everything on a Monday. I won't do it on a Sunday because it still feels like the previous week. Monday is the day where we kind of restart things. It's also a good day for healing magic for me. I don't know if it's because it's usually associated with the moon, but for me, it's a great day to do any healing magic. Then we have Tuesday. This is the day that now my husband is back at work. I have the house to myself. So for me, this is when I want to do a lot of manifesting, and it just is a motivational day because I'm in control of my time. I don't really have to worry about, not that he really needs it, but I feel like I have to entertain my husband and my mom, and because we live at home, because the housing market's freaking chaos, so we're never leaving. But this is the day when I will really focus in on getting a lot of stuff done. If I was kind of dragging butt a bit on Monday, then Tuesday's okay, really? And it does have that kind of energy for a lot of people. Tuesday's usually more associated with conflict and anger and Mars and stuff. And so I just kind of use that as more as the motivation side of it, and actually manifesting, getting things done that you need to do, and the work involved with manifesting. So that's Tuesdays. Wednesday I have dedicated just for witchery in general. Whatever else that is witchcraft, Wednesdays. Whether that is doing a lot of devotional work and stuff. I do a lot of kitchen magic on that day. It's just my day of witchery. If I'm not going to end up celebrating the Sabbath on the specific day, it's going to celebrate on Wednesday. And if I feel like celebrating a moon phase, I'm probably going to end up being on a Wednesday. It's just the way it works out for me. It's a good day for me to do it. It's usually not too busy, and I just love it. So Wednesday is just my witchy day. That's usually when I'll be doing my inner temple of witchcraft exercises. It's gonna be on a Wednesday. Thursday is for prosperity and just the home in general. Again, usually this is ruled by Thor, and for me, those two things really connect with him. He's the god of the common folk, the common man, the working class kind of a deal. And so for me, it just makes sense that the people who have probably prayed to him for years and centuries, they were probably needing money, because it was, again, not usually the rich. And so he's well aware of that. So I feel like it's a good day to be hey Thor, can you help me pay our bills this month? Thank you. And also just the home in general. So for me, it works out, and it's the last day of the me time that I have. Friday is what I call the energy exchange day. Now for us, we can kind of, now that I work from home, I can kind of choose whenever I want to do things, but I figured Friday's a good day for this. So usually Fridays is associated with love, and that's great. If that works for you, awesome. Doesn't for us. Husband's still off working, so it's not like we're really gonna do a date night on a Friday night. Like, he's gotta get up early to go to work the next day. He's tired from work the day of, so not much sense. And so, and it's not like I do much on Friday nights. So instead, I ended up talking with some random stranger, and she was like, well, bill day for me is Fridays because I get paid on Fridays, so I pay my bills every Friday. And I'm like, cool. I mean, it's nice when you get paid weekly because you can do that. But I also decided, like, that's a really good day to pay bills and go grocery shopping and balance the checkbook and all of that, because then you don't have to bring that baggage into your weekend. Because even though I work from home, I work for myself, I do my own thing, it's still something about the sanctity of having a weekend off that I've learned I need for the most part. Minus like if I'm reading a witchy book that doesn't really feel like much work, but like I don't want to record on the weekends much unless I have to. And I don't want to write too much on the weekends unless I have to. So that's also the day like I'll sit down and edit my books if I'm editing with somebody else. And again, it's just like an energy exchange time. Paying bills, checking our balances, and again, we've done the prosperity from the day before. So it's not like working on manifesting money, it's more of like managing it. And again, it's an energy exchange, so like that's when I'll be concluding all of the projects for the week and maybe reevaluating like what I need to do the next week. I usually try to plan out the month in advance, and that's when I'll kind of check in and be like, okay, what ones do I need to do starting on Monday? Because I do have my own schedule now, so it's like Mondays I do this, Tuesdays I do this, Wednesdays I do this, Thursdays I do this, and Fridays I do this. And then that's just kind of my day to like wrap it all up, so then I have the weekends basically off. There's a little bit of housework and stuff that I do, but that way, like that's when like birthday parties will happen and whatever, so it's nice to have that little bit of a cushion. So Fridays is just the energy exchange to get everything done that we need to. And plus, if I'm gonna go shopping, I would love to do it on a Friday because typically it is not as busy as a Saturday. So grocery stores aren't as busy. They are a little bit on like holiday weekends and stuff, but mostly not. And depending on what time I go to, like it can help a bit because people usually aren't up early or they're still at work and whatever. Also for like Black Friday shopping, like there's a few things I would love to eventually be able to get that is like a Black Friday exclusive because it's impossible like to get a PS5 unless you pay for a scalper, and I refuse. So like shopping. Now if I didn't finish everything up on Friday, because again, stuff happens, Saturday is the official banishing day. This is also my get it done day. If I didn't accomplish anything that I needed to throughout the week, that's the day I have to do it. I have to finish it that day. I'd love to have it done by Friday, but if I haven't and I need to move into the weekend to do stuff, that's what that Saturday is all about. That's all I'm doing. And sometimes it sucks because I would like to have some time off, but again, I love what I do, so it's not that big of a deal. And I also put on here that it's flip the script, so if I find myself in a really big funk, that's the day to change it. So like if I notice our house is feeling a little funky and like the energies are just kind of off, by Saturday, if I haven't done anything, if I didn't do it on Thursday when I work on the home, or I didn't do it on Wednesday for just like all of the witchery I normally do, I'm gonna deal with it on Saturday. And it's also just a good time to kind of flip the script of your life. Again, if you're feeling like you're in a funk, or you're like, I wanna do some major changes to the house, I'm gonna probably do it on a Saturday when I have people around to help me move furniture, make sure I'm safe. Again, bleeding disorder, I need to be careful, so I need to like not kill myself moving heavy stuff. And so like that's the day that I'll do that, or if I want to like do like the Halloween decor stuff, I'm probably gonna do that on a Saturday because again, like the flip the script is just like kind of a catchy term, but for me like it works because again, it's like, okay, now we're gonna move out of summer stuff, move the stuff around, bring out the spooky, because it's September now. I'm ready for September and all things spooky. So that's also the time that like we'll start kind of just, you know, changing it up. Like Saturdays is a good day to like do like the more not fun projects too. and like just big stuff to do. So it's just kind of the catch-all day of if we need to get stuff done. And again, like a lot of like the bigger projects, like if we set up a pool, that's gonna be that day probably, and then Sunday to rest. And like if I need to go deal with my cars, like it's gonna have to be before then, so like the yard work might get pushed off to Saturday. So anyways, I hope that has been helpful to give you some ideas of what to do for the days of the week. Again, this is not typically what they're all associated with. This is just what works for me and my family, and this would have been drastically different when I was working. Now that I work for myself and I work at home, I don't have to worry about fitting around a schedule really. It's just the schedule of the people around me that I try and kind of keep in mind, and what works for me and what energies I kind of feel like working on, and what seems to pop up the most for me doesn't mean it's going to be that for everybody. But again, I hope this has been helpful and gave you some ideas. I would love to hear what the days of the week mean to you, if you do that kind of a thing. If you celebrate the moons, obviously we kind of know those, but regardless, let me know what you do for the days of the week for your magical endeavors if you choose to do that. Do make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I post every single day. I do have a Patreon, patreon.com/nightwillowcrafts. At the end of this video, you'll get to see the sneak preview of what I will be uploading in the month. And of course, shout out to my patron. Their name is right here. I would say names, but honestly, I will probably mispronounce them, so I'm just not gonna start off strong by trying to, so names. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and blessed be.